Kat Swaski, and I do some legislative work here in Rhode Island. But I want to, first of all, thank you for the impact that your work had on how much easier it became to be treated, the fight to be treated seriously as a teenager at the State House became after all of your work. Really, really amazing shift that happened. But I wanted to ask you specifically about legislation that you passed on a state level. Did you find that talking to your legislators was the most effective course of action, or is there some other something that we're not thinking of that's much more effective?
The talking part is necessary, but it's not super effective. It has to be necessary so that they understand and that they're familiar with what your asks are. And they have to be hard asks. It has to be, what do you actually want to see done? Because these people will look for any excuse to not take you seriously. I was in Mitch McConnell's office and his staff said, well, what bill numbers do you actually want? I knew the bill numbers. I came there prepared, but they asked that question because they thought I'd know what policy I wanted, but not specific like SB 2240, because like what 20-year-old would know that? But I did, so screw them. But that's just the beginning. It's all about organizing. It's all about having a force on the ground to really make them feel the pressure. Like what Moms Demand Action does, I see the shirts, is incredible. I mean, to show up in force and see a sea of red, I mean, that's more intimidating than having a face-to-face conversation with a victim's family, because if they cared about victims' families, they'd actively try to stop making more victims' families. Like, they purposely ignore this issue because it's easy for them. But if you organize and mobilize around this issue and around single policy asks, it's impossible to ignore you because their time is up. They see you in raw numbers and they understand how dedicated you are, and just the fact that you know some of your state reps' names will scare them, because they don't want you as a young person to know who they are, because it's easier to screw you over and ignore your issues when they have no face or recollection of who you are. When they see you come up in masses and organize and demanding something specific, I mean, that's why we've been able to pass 60+ state laws in the last 7 months, because we have been organizing and mobilizing in these state houses. We can't be everywhere, but the kids in Vermont, the kids in Pennsylvania, the kids in Wisconsin that are getting these laws passed, and in California and Florida and Rhode Island has passed great laws too. It's hard to keep track of all of them because this is the year of the most state laws being passed on this issue ever. And so it's all because organizing and mobilizing and having very, very specific asks. And be the smartest one in the room. It's not hard with some of these state reps.